Sophie's therapy was
I
successful,
couldn't open the door.
so let's follow along session by session to see why.
Here?
Yes. Do you need any help with the...
No, it's okay. After my accident, I told you on the phone about the accident.
Yes.
They told me that I needed the opinion of a psychiatrist because the insurance company of the car that hit me has a problem with my injuries or something like that. So that's why I'm here. I'm here for your professional opinion, not for...
Not for therapy.
Sophie rode her bike into the street and was struck by an oncoming car. She wants Paul to state in writing that in his opinion she did not attempt suicide. The session with Paul could have been avoided had Sophie answered questions posed by a social worker hired by the car driver's insurance company, but she refused to do so. Sophie doesn't remember the accident, but was told she flew her bike into the street, a phrase that reminds her of a previous accident.
It reminds me of something about 2 years ago. A friend of mine, he took me out on this motorbike, and he stopped to get something at a convenience store. Anyway, I was really bored, so I pretended that I knew how to drive it. You know, you put your hands on the handlebars and you go like this. Well, it was one of those monster bikes. Just by turning the handle a little, it just flies. So suddenly, I'm like, zoom, and it takes off. My head whips back like this, and when I look back down, I realize that I'm riding into the street. I totally crashed into a car.
Both accidents could very well have been suicide attempts, so Sophie probably needs therapy. It's Paul's job to show her that it is safe to let him treat her. He does this by gently probing her personality and showing that he is on her side.
Do you feel comfortable talking about yourself, Sophie?
No. My name is Sophie. I'm 16 years old. I've been a gymnast since the age of 6.5. I was U.S. junior champion at the age of 12. I'm an only child. I don't know. What do you want to know? In another few months are the national trials. Last chance to qualify for the Olympics. I'm kind of like an Olympic hopeful.
Wow. That's really impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So how is life in general?
What?
Oh, apart from the gymnastics. How's life?
That's great.
Paul's interventions are working, motivating Sophie to test him in various ways.
Doesn't sound like you're interested.
Why would you say that, Sophie? I am very interested in everything that you have to say. I mean that.
You spoke to my mother already, didn't you?
I didn't speak to your mother.
You already know what it says in there.
I've never spoken to your mom.
You did talk to her, and you're just letting me sit here, and you know exactly what's in that envelope.
Was I supposed to talk to her?
What, did you, like, plan everything? Like I'm some kind of idiot, you planned this little charade. What's the point? Whatever. Of course she would send me to someone like you. I should have listened to my father. He called them a cult of crazy shit. Open the door for me, please.
Paul and Sophie probe each other. Paul then takes Sophie's side and begins a form of therapy called treatment by attitudes.
According to what it says here, it looks like you could have died too.
Yeah, that would have solved a lot of problems.
What would it solve?
Nothing. I didn't mean anything by it. Can I talk to you like a normal person? Do you drive your daughter crazy with questions like this too?
Oh, much more crazy, believe me. You said that the social worker spoke to you like she knew you.
She was such a retard.
Did she ask you if you think about death a lot?
How did you know that?
According to what it says here, she was trying to prove that the accident was your fault. It's a good thing you didn't answer any of her questions. By the way, everybody thinks about death. I bet she didn't say that, though. Did she ask you if you had any specific thoughts about death?
No.
Do you?
Do I what?
Everyone thinks about death and imagines how it will come to them. Do you have any more specific thoughts about it? I mean, maybe you have certain thoughts that you'd like to talk about.
Paul continues working on Sophie's attitudes by suggesting that she may have wanted to get angry with her mother. He then probes for her sources of support, bringing the session to an end.
Before, when you got angry, when you thought that she'd called me, I asked myself, why didn't she call? It makes sense that she would call me first.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out why you got so angry when you thought that she'd called me.
I don't get it. She did call?
No.
Did she call or not? Tell
No.
me already.
She didn't call.
So why are we back to this again?
Because I got the feeling that when you got angry, you wanted your mother to call. Just so that you could get angry with her.
You have no idea what I'm looking for. You just don't get it.
Okay. So, why don't you explain it to me then?
She thinks that what's written there is true.
What's true?
Whatever it says. Suicidal tendencies, blah, blah, blah.
That's what your mother says is true?
She thinks that this accident is a wonderful opportunity to get rid of this sports thing. That's what she calls it.
But what does that have to do with this report?
She's afraid. She doesn't believe that. She thinks that because of all this competition and perfectionism, she thinks that I wanted to kill myself. And that's bullshit.
Who do you call
Who do I call for what?
when you need to talk to someone?
411.
411.
Yeah, because my father has moved so many times in the past few years. I can never remember his latest phone number. It's like a family joke. We call 411.
How do you get on with your dad?
He's always there for me.
What do you mean he's always there for you?
He's there. He knows what's happening to me. Like when I had the accident, he called me when I was in the ambulance. He knew something had happened. That's what they told me.
Oh. So is it like you guys have a kind of telepathy together?
He's the only person in this world who truly loves me. And the only one that believes that the accident was not my fault. The only one except Sai.
Who's Sai?
This is Sai.
Sai's a mermaid?
No, Sai drew it. He's my coach. Dana colored it. That's his daughter. I used to be her babysitter.
Huh. So Sai is the only one, apart from your dad, who loves you? Or he's the only one who thinks that you didn't crash your bike on purpose?
I don't know. Is that important for your professional opinion?